Sue Butterworth to present. Do you like my new shirt? Do you like my new shirt? Sue Butterworth.
So do you like my new shirt? I bet you're asking yourself why I asked that question. But if you'll bear with me for just a few minutes, I think you'll understand why. I was sitting at my desk about a week ago, knowing that I was coming here to the Cherry Conference and that I was going to have to give you guys a speech on packaging. So I was sitting there thinking to myself, what am I going to write about? I've got my computer open, a Word document open on the screen in front of you. The cursor was flashing at me expectantly, waiting for me to think of something to write. I had no idea what I was going to talk about. The phone rang. Picked it up. It was my dad. We chatted about a few things to do with the business. Hung up. Back to the speech. Then the little screen flashed up to tell me I had an email. So I looked at it, and it was a joke from my buddy Gary. So I read that, had a little chuckle to myself, and thought, right, back to business. What am I going to talk about? I really had no idea what I could say. Have you guys ever written a speech yourself? Yes, some of you have. So, I don't know about you, but I find it very difficult to write a speech. I didn't even know where to start. So while I'm sitting there, wasting the next hour and a half trying to think of anything I could do to avoid writing this speech, and suddenly it came to me. If I was coming here to talk in front of you guys, I needed to look my best. So I needed to buy myself a new shirt. So there you go. I had a plan for at least the next hour of what I could do. Off I went to our local shopping centre, which is called Southland. When I got there, I realised I really had a lot of choices. So many choices, in fact, I didn't know where to start. There are a couple of large department stores, and there were probably half a dozen or so little independent companies that I could go in and buy a shirt from. Wasn't quite sure where I should go, but I did what probably most of you would do, went into the large department store. I thought that's a good place to start. So in I walked and I found the menswear section, and I was confronted by this wall of shirts that just seemed to stretch on for miles. There was every colour you could imagine. All these brands, Polo, Ralph Lauren, Low-wear, there was cotton bling, no iron. I mean, geez, who knows what all of those things mean? I mean, my wife knows, but I don't know the difference between one shirt and another. So I stood there and I pulled a couple out and I looked at them and I really wasn't sure what size it was and I couldn't see the back of my own collar. So I decided to ask for some assistance. I looked around and of course there was no sales assistant anywhere in sight. Typical. So off I went to look for someone to help me. And I got to the counter and there was a sales assistant. He was on the phone. So I waited. And I listened to him talk for the next 3 or 4 minutes to the person on the other end of the phone about what he'd done on the weekend. And much in all was that it was an exciting weekend for him. I really didn't need to hear it. So I cleared my throat. And the sales assistant looked at me and went, okay, I'll wait. So I waited. And he kept talking about his weekend. So I went, excuse me, I need some help over here. And he, 1 minute, sir. So I waited. And I waited. Now anyone who knows me, and a few of you here in the crowd do, you know that I'm not the most patient man that God ever put on this earth. So after 3 or 4 more minutes of waiting, I thought, bugger it. I don't get to buy a shirt from this guy. In fact, I'm not even going to buy a shirt from this shop. I'm going to take my business elsewhere, somewhere where it's valued. So off I went. I left the shop and I walked into one of the small independent shops. And as I walked in, a sales assistant came over and said, "Can I help you, sir?" Shock horror. And I said, no, that's fine, I'm just looking. So I had a wander around, and again there was a wall of shirts. And I had a look, and I really wasn't sure again, and I turned around and there was the sales assistant. And he said, "Can I help you, sir? My name's Cameron." If I can and being any assistance. And I thought, well, I really don't know where to start. For a start, I don't know my size or anything like that. So I asked Cameron to help me. So for the next few minutes, Cameron explained to me the difference between cotton and cotton blend, the fact that the thread count makes a lot of difference to how a shirt wears. Now, who would know that, unless you're a sales assistant? He also explained to me the different cuts and also all the different fabrics and brands. And apparently, there's quite a lot of different cuts and styles and things that you can pick in shirts, and I didn't know any of this. So he pulled a couple out, and he handed them to me and suggested I went and try them on for fit. Now, all in all, Cameron spent about half an hour with me explaining all of these technical things that I didn't know about shirts. I only wear them. So what I found out from Cameron really armed me with the tools I need to understand what I was purchasing as a consumer. And as that particular day, I bought this shirt from Cameron. In fact, I bought 3. I also bought a tie and a pair of pants. So I actually spent quite a lot with him that day. But it was money well spent, because next time I need to buy clothes, I'm going to go back to Cameron, and I know he's going to help me, and I trust him. And as I left the shop that day with my bag, I realised that buying a new shirt is very much like buying cardboard boxes. There are a lot of choices when you're buying cardboard boxes. In fact, it can be very confusing. There are a couple of multinational companies, and there are also some little independents, like the company that I run. Now, I can't talk for the other guys, but I can tell you how Cardboard Cartons works. We care about our customers. It's our job to look out for you guys. That's what we're supposed to do. If you call us, we'll actually answer our phone 24/7. We come out to your farms and we visit you there. We sit down with you, we talk to you, we ask a lot of questions, and we actually listen to your answers, because we need to understand what it is that you want before we can make it for you. We understand that while price is important, it's only a part of the transaction. Whether you're here from South Australia, from New Zealand, from Young, from Tassie, or from Victoria, there's one thing all of you guys have in common, and that is that you have a 3 to 4 week window in which you can pack your cherries, get them in a box, and get them to market. So when you tell me you want your boxes the first week of December, come hell or high water, that's when I'm going to get you your boxes. Because we understand that if you don't get those boxes on time, you've done your shirt for the next 12 months. That's why we deliver in full, on time, to specification. As a private and independent manufacturer, we offer you the very best products at a competitive and good value for money. Everyone on our team understands that you have a choice, and that's why we'll never take any of you for granted. I look forward to talking to you all after the conference, either here or when we come to visit you on your farms. And in the meantime, if you need to buy a shirt, let me know. I know someone who can help you.